Hi everyone! Today we're going to talk about rapid eye movement sleep and why REM sleep is essential for performance. It's the stage you probably know when your brain is buzzing with activity, it can be highly emotional during your dreams, your eyes are darting back and forth under your eyelids, and your dreams can be really quite vivid and strange. But why is that? And what does that have to do with your performance at school? Well, REM sleep is not just about dreaming. It has a lot to do with how you show up at school as a student, the way you manage emotions, connect with your friends, solve problems, and protect your mental health. All of it depends on what your brain does during rapid eye movement sleep. So let's dig in. Let's talk about emotion regulation and stress. One of the biggest challenges for students today is without question stress. And if you're not sleeping well or sleeping enough, especially if you're not getting high quality REM sleep, which can happen if you're curtailing your sleep and waking up too early, you're much more likely to be impulsive or emotionally reactive. And here's why. During REM sleep, your brain processes and integrates emotional experiences and emotional memories, but in a neurochemical state that's very different from wakefulness. So levels of norepinephrine, one of the brain's main stress chemicals, it drops to almost undetectable levels during REM sleep. So when REM's working properly, this low stress chemical environment may help your brain revisit emotional memories and emotional experiences without triggering the same physiological stress response, which allows you then to reframe and integrate those experiences into your life instead of reliving them. This can take, by the way, multiple REM sleep episodes, even across multiple nights, where your first dreams that you might have can be scary or upsetting. But then, as your brain processes the experience or the trauma, some of the affective tone or emotional reactivity gets stripped away. Now, this is the point at which you either stop dreaming about the event or you stop remembering that you're dreaming about it, or it's when your dreams of the event seem different, like they're less intensely emotional, or you may even experience that you're becoming more empowered during the dream. So think about it like this. REM is your brain's overnight therapy session. You eventually revisit challenges, but without the same emotional charge, without the stress, so you can learn from them and move forward. So students who get enough REM sleep tend to wake up emotionally balanced. If you've ever felt overly sensitive, irritable, or just quick to anger or impulsivity after a night of fragmented sleep, that's the cost, oftentimes, of missing REM sleep specifically. And over time, those little cracks in emotion regulation add up. Next, let's talk about social emotional intelligence. Rapid eye movement sleep is deeply tied to how well we interact with others and how well we read them. Research has shown that after REM sleep deprivation, people are significantly impaired in their ability to interpret facial expressions. So even neutral faces are often misread as negative and hostile. Rapid eye movement sleep and getting the sufficient amount of REM you need protects you from those social blind spots. It sharpens your ability to read the room, to pick up on subtle cues, and to respond with open curiosity or empathy rather than defensive-ness. I also want to talk about creativity, innovation, and problem solving. This is one of my favorite parts. REM sleep is when your brain starts making unusual, bizarre, but sometimes incredibly creative connections that you just can't see during wakefulness. That's because networks in the brain that don't normally talk to one another start to talk to each other like crazy. These are emotion networks, memory networks, sensory networks. They start to interact in ways that they simply can't when you're awake. That's why so many people wake up with new ideas or they dream up solutions to problems. It's not random. Your brain is designed to do that during sleep. It integrates, it experiments, it tests new realities, and it puts information together differently. Whether you're trying to innovate specifically or find a way through a complex problem or navigate ambiguity, REM is fueling this flexible creative thinking that oftentimes rigid linear logic that's so common during wakefulness just can't solve. This is why some of history's most significant breakthroughs have come out of rapid eye movement sleep. And for students, these moments of insight can spark breakthroughs in the way you study, how you do projects, your creative work, or decisions about your life. Let's also talk about memory integration and the formation of wisdom. Here's another piece that most people don't know. So non-REM sleep, like slow wave sleep, helps you remember facts. But rapid eye movement sleep is one of the times when you combine those facts to make meaning out of them. During REM, your brain takes new information and cross-links it with older memories, things you've already learned, things you already know. Also cross-links it with emotional context and with your sense of self. In other words, it's building wisdom. That's one of the reasons students who sleep well aren't just detail-oriented. They're actually much more likely to see patterns, the big picture. They can step back and say, okay, this is what all of this means in terms of the bigger picture. Without rapid eye movement sleep, you're more likely to be left with fragments. It's a lot harder to solve the puzzle or to put the puzzle pieces together. But with REM sleep, you're more likely to gain perspective. And finally, I want to talk about burnout. Students who stay up too late or who wake up too early are much more likely to struggle with anxiety, depression, and again, impulsivity. And the research is really unequivocal when it comes to this. REM deprivation amplifies all of those risks. So think of REM as a buffer. It doesn't erase all of the stress in your life, obviously, but it can cushion your nervous system so that stress doesn't hollow you out from the inside or amplify your negative emotions to the point of breakdown. Night after night, it restores emotional balance and keeps the brain resilient, protecting your ability to learn, to thrive, and to enjoy life. And trust me, your college days, that's some of the best life there is. This is really not just about being rested, but protecting your core capacities that make you a good student in the first place. Emotional stability, empathy, creativity, wisdom, resilience. These are rapid eye movement sleep's gifts. So here's your challenge. The next time you think about cutting your sleep short, I want you to remind yourself that what you're really cutting out is your cognitive capacity. REM sleep is not optional, and yet so many of us end up treating it like it is. Protect your REM sleep, and you're protecting your mind, your ability to learn, and your well-being. I hope you all found this helpful. Please consider subscribing. We're building a whole series on how neuroscience can help you live better, and I'd love to hear in the comments, what's your sleep like right now? How does it relate to your stress levels? How do you notice it impacts your studying, mood, ability to focus? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.